Welcome to Fandom University Orientation. Now, right off the bat, let me ask you, what is fandom? Now, take a moment and think about it. All right? So, I'm going to guess that probably most of you have thought of two or three specific type of things. For example, you might have thought about superheroes, comic books, whether it's their original comic book adventures, whether it's the TV shows or the movies, whether it's Marvel or DC or independent films. Maybe you thought about famous book series that have been made into movies, like Harry Potter, maybe Hunger Games, or even Twilight. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you thought about probably one of the biggest franchises, fandoms in the world, that being Star Wars. And of course, all Star Wars fans have their own thoughts about everything when it comes to Star Wars, and we'll definitely cover some of that stuff. But the truth is, fandom covers everything. I guarantee you that if you're human, you like something, and there's definitely a fandom for you. Just as an example, there's a show on Disney Plus called The World According to Jeff Goldblum. In that show, he just explores things that he likes. One of the episodes is about shoes. Did you know there's a shoe convention? Because I didn't. Clearly, there's a fandom for shoes. There's a fandom for makeup, for fashion. Hey, I've got no problem. You gotta like what you like, and I'm not gonna hold it against you. Doesn't mean it's for me. But if you've watched our first three classes, then you might get the idea that I'm only going to talk about superheroes and stuff related to them on this channel. And that is not the case. While there will certainly be a lot of that, because just look around me. I love comic books. I love superheroes. And of course, for me, I like Superman, I like Batman, I like Iron Man and Captain America. But my favorite is Spider-Man. And when it comes to Spider-Man, my favorite anti-hero has to be Venom. So yeah, you can like specific characters, you can like specific adversaries, you can even like specific incarnations of the characters. Now, while this Venom to me is pretty cool, very fierce, and he's from the comics, for me, I have always been drawn to this Venom. Because this is the Venom that I grew up with. This is the version from the 90s animated series, which I love. And I will collect everything I can get my hands on from that era, specifically when it's related to this show. Because I just love it. Doesn't mean I like any Spider-Man thing any less. This is just my favorite. And that's part of fandom. You can be as broad as you want. You can be as specific as you want. And fandom, like I said, has a wide net. For example, I also really love Castle. Castle was a great show. And the fans loved that show. To the point that they were demanding fictional characters from that show become actual books. So we got these Nikki Heat books based on the show. We got books made as graphic novels from the show. We got a lot of stuff from there. Another show that I know my wife loves is Monk. Now, with Monk, they also had books based on adventures that didn't happen in the show, but yet correlated with it. Okay. You can also be fans of things that aren't from your own country. Now, I love Power Rangers, as you can see on this wall. But Power Rangers, while I love the show and it's corny, crazy, insane, and I love it, is from a Japanese show called Super Sentai. I like watching that. Love seeing the differences. So there's a fandom for this. Then, of course, you've got fans, like I said, of different iterations of characters, specific types of universes. As an example, the Arrowverse, or more specifically, the Arrowverse is Supergirl. I love those characters, as I'm sure you can tell if you've watched my first three videos. It's a different take on the characters, it's unique, but they're great. And fans love it. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, you also have things that aren't specifically a show. They're not specifically a novel. They're a novelty. Prime example nowadays, Pops. Now, some people will just collect all the Pops they can get their hands on. They just want every single one that's ever been made. Some people, like me, prefer to be more specific. We get ones about characters that we like. We get things from movies that we like. And while, yes, I have a ton of them, I'm not that type of person that will just buy a Pop because it's a Pop and it's one I don't have. Of course, you can also be fans of just movies in general, whether it's movies like Back to the Future or the James Bond series, or any other one you might be able to think of. And of course, probably the biggest fandom around deals with these. No, I'm not saying Aladdin is the biggest fandom, but Disney. And Aladdin just happens to be my favorite Disney film. Now, I grew up with Disney. I love Disney. On my opposite wall, I have Snow White figures. I have Lion King. I've got Hercules. I have Hunchback of Notre Dame and Pocahontas. I just grew up with Disney. It's part of who I am. So, while you're here and exploring, yes, there will be a lot of things about comic books, about superheroes, about Star Wars. There'll be stuff about Power Rangers. But there will also be things related to Disney. Things related to just TV shows in general. But there'll be other types of classes. My previous videos have been Defending 101. I have other ones in the works where they might just be reviews of movies. There'll be ones about reflecting on why I love something or why something is important. Maybe not just to me, but maybe to a fandom as a whole. Talking about some Fandom stuff. Just things, that don't really have a specific place, but maybe, conspiracy ideas about it or geek culture, things that people theorize about, or just plain old things we like to have fun with. As an example, I'm looking at doing something where I take Disney characters and make them into Power Rangers, just for fun. Then, of course, I'll have a whole nother class just dedicated to comic books, the lore, and the characters. So I think there will be something here for everyone. You find a class you like, look down below and watch all of those videos. So, in conclusion, welcome to Fandom University. Fandom is a wonderful place to be, no matter the issues we may have. You can love something, you can like something. You don't even have to, but while you're here, you're part of the group. So, as our university motto goes, enjoy what you love, read what you love, and let's all work for a better fandom. So until next class, go out and enjoy stuff. I'll talk to you later.